Welcome back to another episode of ILA on Air, where we make the complicated simple. So we are giving you short, sharp, property and finance-focused education from industry experts. So grab your cup of tea and we're going to bring you up to speed. I'm Anastasia, the CEO and co-founder of ILA, the UK's only law firm specialising exclusively in property finance ILA. And I'm joined today by Rosalia, which I'm sure many of you know is the founder of Manuka Media. And today we're going to be talking about social media, but not just general fluffy chat around it, actually real education that you can take away with you from this podcast and implement into your social media strategy. So, Ros.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm great, thanks, babe. And I'm just so proud of you. I love this, that what you're doing. When you launched it, I was like, yes.
Yeah, and also Ros has podcasts too, so listen to Ros' podcast as well.
Yeah, I love it. I love the fact that, you're bringing this to our industry. So thank you. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, and thank you so much for coming because you've got so much knowledge in this area. You specialise in social media for property and finance people, as well as entrepreneurs generally, but really kind of was your niche. So tell us some gold. Hit us up. I'm at your mercy to tell us what people need to know.
Well, social media is the thing that people love or hate. And even if they think they love it, they hate it. I don't know about you, but we're on it all the time. And we kind of have a love-hate relationship with it. But it is non-negotiable today, to have a personal brand, to have visibility on social media. This is where we spend all of our time when we're not in front of another screen like your computer, right? And even on your computer, you've got the LinkedIn tab open. I know you do. You've got it in the background. So today, visibility is the new currency, and it's not about being the best in your industry anymore. It's about being the best known. And some people aren't going to like that, unfortunately, because I've seen it all the time where people are like, oh, so-and-so, who do they think they are? I've been doing this for 30 years. I'm so much better. I'm like, who knows you?
Yeah.
Do you even exist? Like, no one knows where you are.
Yeah.
So I love that part about my job, about making people seen. I want them to be seen. I want them to be heard, not just on social media. It's the whole holistic branding. It's what you do offline is what you do online, how you meet and greet people in person. How do we translate that into your online persona as well? Because people buy from people. Mm-hmm. And the saying is, people buy from people they know, like, and trust. So knowing is the first bit. I have to know you. And that bit means I have to see you. So if I see you, I will get to know you, and then I will make a decision if I like or not like you. That's up to you, mate. Like I can't make people like you. Yeah. I'll make people like see you. Then whether they like you, that's another conversation. But the people I work with, I love. I love the people I work with. So I like them. And if I like them, I trust them, then I will vouch for them and I will represent them. Many times I've been like, I don't think we're compatible. Maybe this isn't the right path for you, because I've got to believe in them.
Yeah. And you mentioned the word personal brand. Now, it's obviously thrown around so much, but with good reason, right? It's so important. Can you tell me what a personal brand is?
Oh, it's such an annoying buzzword, like personal brand. I'm just like going to build my personal brand.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was building a personal brand when I was building one, right? And I didn't know what it meant. I was in a full-time job, and therefore I was like, I work for this company. I work for anyone who doesn't know, I'm very, very proud to say that I used to work for Together Money. I was a business development manager, and that's the brand I wore, right? I was Together. Like, literally, everyone was like, you love your job, don't you? I was like, yes, because we say yes to, the other lenders who say no. So I wore their brand. But I knew that people bought from people. So I was posting on LinkedIn about, I've just met so-and-so brokerage and we spoke about this bridging deal and we're so delighted to have this completion together. Or I've just been to Manchester and I'm meeting with my underwriters today to get to learn more about how we underwrite bridging deals. And I was just telling the story of Together. So whatever brand you wear, whatever company you work for, like you would do for ILA, you're telling the story through your experience. So I was documenting my journey, my meetings, my highs and lows, the awards that I was applying for and then didn't win. That was my personal brand. So it's made up. Your personal brand is your reputation, your experience, your values, your morals. And it's what people say about you when you're not in the room. It's a vibe. It's how you make people feel. That's your personal brand. Yeah. But everyone's got one.
Yeah, that's really interesting. You mentioned there the highs and the lows, and something that I'd love your opinion on is I've definitely had people tell me before, like if Isla's having a hard time, because all businesses go through that, I'll share about it, and people have been like, you shouldn't share about it because basically like that's what makes like the wolves circle. People are like, oh, did you hear that Isla having a bad time, or like, we might not use them anymore because they had if you share about like a complaint experience or something that you learned from. And that can sometimes have a negative effect of what people think. What's your view on that as a brand strategist and a social media expert? What do you think about sharing the lows or the downs?
Today, the trend on social media, or the appetite that we all feel as humans, is to be real. Like, we're done with the highlight reel. We're done, especially in the finance industry and property, because there are sharks. And the ones that are the sharks or the cowboys are the ones that try and decorate their profile as cleanly and pristinely as possible, because they're the ones that have got something real to hide. Whereas,
and don't tell me nothing is going on in the background, right? Because
Exactly.
everybody has shit going on.
And that's why we can see through it. And I got a glimpse of this 5 years ago when I first started my business, because my clients coming to me would complain saying that, oh, people always post only when they've got a completion, or people always post when they've got like a new win, or they're basically documenting their paycheck on LinkedIn. They're showing like, oh, we've just hit 1 million turn. You're like, no one asked.
Yeah.
No one actually asked how much money you're making. So I think the people that are posting the reality, what's really going on, they're the ones that will be trusted most.
Yeah, I agree.
And the wolves are always going to be circulating, they're always going to be around. They're waiting for you to fail. They're waiting for you to fall. But if you're owning that story, then you've got the power. I think that's what's magical about being a personal brand and representing a business brand as well, is that you are in control of your story.
Yeah.
Because if something in the background is happening, like a complaint or whatever, someone else is going to share it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That news travels. So when you take ownership of that story, we can see it from your point of view.
Yeah, that reminded me. I think there's a quote you've put on your Instagram, one of your reels before, and it's like, you can't offend me or upset me because I've already
I'm already doing it.
Yeah, I've already said it or done it.
You can't hurt me.
You can't make that up about me because I've already told people.
Yeah,
just don't worry about it.
Exactly. I'm already my biggest critic. I'm already like beating myself up already as it is. So if you want to join the party, please do. But I'm already there. Come to my pity party. Please do.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And I think you're so right. I think it's really important to share those. I think it's like we can share, and you see a lot of lenders do it, particularly obviously because they're usually working with big numbers, but it will be like, we've just hit X amount of billion in lending. But I also want to hear the troubles you went through to get there, because I want to get there too. For example, if I might be starting a lender, or I might be a property developer who wants to own a £35 million portfolio. That's cool, and you inspire me. So I love seeing that, but I also want to hear what happened to get there, and for that, because that does happen. The shit happens on the way, right?
Absolutely.
And so in terms of platforms, you've mentioned a few times LinkedIn. I've mentioned obviously your social media in terms of your Instagram. Would you be as confident to say this one is the best platform?
No, who I'm talking to. Yeah, it depends who I'm talking to.
Yeah, we can't
depends
say
who's
that.
asking. Yeah, absolutely. Like I mentioned LinkedIn because obviously we're in the finance, mortgage, space. You and I met at a networking event anyway, and then we followed each other on Instagram and LinkedIn. So LinkedIn has been underutilized. The reason I love it is because it has always been an underwhelming platform that really kind of was a late bloomer, and us early adopters who got there a little bit early, we recognized the value that LinkedIn could bring. But LinkedIn has always been my most dominant platform for my business, because I've always been looking to attract brokers, lawyers, lenders, fintech, and they typically live on LinkedIn. But I have of late become more active on Instagram, even though I used to always have it for personal reasons, because there is so much more to me than just like one perfect post per day on LinkedIn. I do a lot of fitness, I do a lot of dancing, I do a lot of travel. I have, a big passion for like my family and my Italian culture. So I feel like the personality side of me on Instagram is a lot more diverse. And I do a lot more education on LinkedIn, but I like to play a lot on Instagram, and people get to see a different side to me. But I chose Instagram because when I was entering, again, strategically, I chose Instagram because when I was entering and becoming more proactive in the property space, I realized that property people were more proactive on Instagram. And so if I want to circle myself around and network with people that I'm trying to attract, I need to go and play where they're playing. So I joined Instagram for that reason. So yeah, I can't really pick one platform for everybody. Yeah. It's got to be relevant to your ideal target audience.
So if our listener can usually be anything between a broker, solicitor, to the professional parties involved in the property and finance transactions, and then also the developer and the investor. So if we're looking or talking to developers and investors in this scenario, you said Instagram's blown up quite a lot for developers and investors, and where do you think that's come from, and what are you seeing on there in terms of opportunity for developers, investors on Instagram?
So I like to say, and this is not something that I made up, but my favorite saying is facts tell, stories sell. Facts tell. So there's no point posting the facts about, this is what we do. The story is, this is how we do it, and this is what's going on along the way. So Instagram has given property professionals and developers that opportunity to show a peek behind the curtain, whilst you're on site, whilst you're building. And we know many successful content creators out there on Instagram that are showing from the moment they acquired the land all the way through to completion, to sales, and all the drama that goes on in between getting the land to selling the property. And this has become a property investors or property developers' new CV. Your social media should tell me what you're doing, how you're doing it, why you're doing it, and I get to see you in action. If you've got perfectly curated photos, just the end result, like, for example, we can learn this from the fitness industry. We don't want to see your abs. Yeah. We want to see you before your abs yeah. And then what it took to get abs. Like, we just don't want to see that polished version. We want to see the before and after. And that before and after concept that came very much from the fitness world can be applied to the property industry and finance.
And I think as well, having seen this type of content you're talking about, I think it can not only do other developers want to watch it, because it applies to everybody. Everyone's kind of interested in seeing, like, how did they make that, turn that to this? Yes. So it has quite a far reach on it, right? And I think I've been to talks before where people have also spoken about, if you're looking for investors, this is a really must-do thing, right? Would you agree?
That's what I mean with your CV. So I am a property investor, Matt and I are, and we went through so many interviews, interviewing property sources and property managers, and it made me nearly want to quit the property industry because it was what I was seeing. That's the other thing that you need to be prepared for, is like, someone is in control of what they post on Instagram. So yes, whilst they're active, and literally I had someone like publicizing on their story, we're taking on investors, we've got the XYZ deal, So we were like, brilliant. Like we've got money. Not that we've got like bags of money, as in like we've just pulled money out of our property. For once we have some cash, let's use it. So sometimes the problem is I haven't got an investment, but now we have this investment. So we thought, right, all we need is someone who's got the properties or the right opportunities, and we'll invest. This person advertising themselves that they could do X, Y, Z. When we had the meeting, crickets.
Really?
No deals. Disappearing on us, ghosting us, sending us an agreement for £1,000 to sign up as potential investors. And then, when you, just before you sign, you think, just need to check something. Yeah. They don't reply. You're like, I nearly handed over £1,000 for what? You would have ghosted me. It was just really weird. So it is about the know, like, and trust. Yes, I can see you. Yes, I can, you are selling it to me, but do your due diligence.
Yeah. So is that, did they have on their Instagram the videos that you're kind of talking about?
Oh, and yeah, they were perfect.
Christ.
They were perfect.
This is really interesting, right? So then there's like this thing of, there's like these two things that I feel I'm hearing exist, which is people buy from who they know, like, and trust. So we look at their Instagram, we see their continued videos. But then how do we really get to trust somebody? I guess it's then still remembering that this is social media.
Yeah. And this will happen in my industry when I get sucked into competitors that are advertising guaranteed views, guaranteed leads, guaranteed. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm not offering that.
Yeah.
I'm not offering guaranteed views and guaranteed leads. I must not be very good. How are they doing that? And then you get sucked into like that marketing, which you're like, yeah, no wonder my clients believe in this shit, because I'm even believing in it. I'm like, hey, take my money.
Yeah.
I'm like, literally, I want 1 million views on every video.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but how are you doing it? How? And obviously, you hear some people have given it a go, tried it, it didn't work. You know, does that mean it didn't work for everybody? No. But I then just go back to, what's my truth?
Yeah.
What am I willing to put my name on? Okay. I'm not a gimmick here. I'm not trying to win you over. So I'm not going to change my marketing to sound like something that I think sounds good.
Yeah.
And that's what you've got to be careful of, is some people will say, I'm managing a £20 million portfolio. Yeah, but whose is it? Is it yours? Yeah. Did you just like, you know, because some people aggregate those numbers because they might have worked with someone for an hour, and then that becomes part of their portfolio. Like, I've helped manage a £20 million portfolio. So just, verify the numbers, really.
Yeah, I think talking to that point, I talk about this as well when we see like, it applies to any business, but it's like, oh, we earn £1 million this month. But actually what you don't know is £999,000 of it was costs.
Yes.
Yeah. So like, it's
and
kind
I
of
love that about you.
up.
Your content is so raw, is so real. You talk about being a CEO of a 7-figure business, right? But then you show like you're in the farm and you're going into your ice bath. But then I look at that, and if it's okay with you, and I think, okay, but she's having this sort of lifestyle because she's got Luke as well, like who's in the office. You've got an established business way beyond, like in a different established version of mine. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, we're not the same. What I'm trying to say is, your lifestyle, my lifestyle is completely different. What you can do, what I do is completely different. But if you look at someone on social media and you see that as comparison rather than, I love that for you, that is so amazing for you, but I'm now not going to say that my only version of success is, unless it looks like Anastasia's, it's not, unless you're comparing yourself to me as well. You might be thinking, oh, you know, this is how Rosalia lives her life. That must be the version of success. And that's exactly how I built my business, when I just stopped listening to what the gurus who help you make money online, that's the whole catchphrase. It's like helping you make money online. Sound like drug dealers, like help you make money online, right? But in what? And everyone always said, oh, you need to have a one-to-many. That's how you can scale your. And I was like, yeah. You know, I was learning from these 7-figure, 8-figure CEOs that were saying to me that the one-to-one is dead.
Yeah.
Like they said to you, independent legal advice. Yes. What a stupid idea. And I went against it. I was like, no, I don't want a one-to-many, because I don't buy one-to-manys. Yeah. I don't subscribe to that, because I don't enjoy being in a group when I'm trying to focus on my shit and my problems, and I want to change my business around, or I want to change me around or rebrand. I want personalized advice. So that's how I give it. So you have to really look at, what does it mean to you? What is success for you? Yeah,
exactly. So it's like this, there's all these different things at play that we're talking about here. It's like the CV for the investor or the developer that they can showcase, particularly on Instagram, for example. But equally, that can be dangerous for an investor who hasn't done due diligence.
Yes.
And equally, that can be dangerous for our perception of what success is to us, because we see these glossy kind of covers of people's lives, maybe that aren't kind of a true reality, or even if it is a true reality, like I feel like I share a lot of my true reality, but it's like, is that success to me? And I think that's also where social media is so valuable. We know it's valuable for marketing, but can be this side that we have to manage and keep in check, or as it can be, I think for many people, they struggle to use it for the reasons you've just spoken about. Because like, I actually don't want to go on there because I can't bear seeing how this person's living their life, and it's stressing me out. But actually, if we manage that well, then actually, you know, that can be something that we can then really utilize it for what we need it for, which is promoting our business, building our personal brand.
It's a platform at the end of the day, but it will show you, the algorithm is designed to learn what triggers you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And send you more of it.
And send you more of it. And you will be sent it without even like within 2 seconds of being on the platform, the next reel and the next reel or the next post is designed to keep you on. And what it will show you, and it's definitely put me in dark places as well, because you will compare yourself to people. When I see my friends succeed, I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
But when you see a stranger who is in your field, like another broker looking at another broker or another property investor looking at another property investor, the algorithm will show you the extreme. So it will show you someone who looks like they're doing exactly like what you're doing, but they're getting 60,000 views, whereas you're getting 2,000.
Yeah.
So that will make you feel they're doing so much better than me. But you've got to find, because it can be toxic, so you've got to find the stretch wherever you're at in your business, whether it's 7 figures, you want to go to 8, or it's 6 figures, you want to do multiple 6 figures, wherever you're at, you have to find someone that's only 1 or 2 steps ahead of you rather than 60, because otherwise it's really detrimental. It goes from being a constructive comparison exercise to a very detrimental comparison exercise because it doesn't seem attainable. So that is the only downside to social media, is that it gives you a life. It shows you a life that doesn't feel attainable.
Yeah. And have you found ways to help manage that? Obviously, what you've just spoken about then is I think that's a really valuable tool for people to take away from that. Have you found anything else that you use? Like I use like Opal apps to block my usage and things like that. Like, so have there anything else that you found this helpful?
So one thing is to declutter my feed. So I will unfollow things that I don't feel are helpful. If it feels like it just doesn't align with my values, right? I'm setting clear boundaries and parameters around, like, not picking up my phone first thing when I wake up, doing my meditation first, and, just a routine that I feel like I need to be connected to the real world and to my real authentic self rather than connecting online first, because especially in my field, like in what I do, my job is online. So even if I want to go on there to look at cats, which I do, I love looking at cat videos. And
goats. We like goats.
And goats. Oh my God, we said goats to each other. Goats. Oh my God, I need to do goat yoga this summer. But 1 minute I could be looking at a goat and be like, oh, that made me think of Anastasia. I'm smiling. I'll send it to her. The next picture is someone, on the beach running, saying, oh, I don't need to be in the office anymore. I'm at the beach and I'm running my personal brand from Indonesia. And you're like, I'm in my shed.
Yeah.
I'm in the shed in my garden, which I love, but now I don't love it as much because you got a very blue sky and blue waters. So I try and, come back to reality and reconnect with what's really important to me. So like going to the gym has like made me put the tools down. It's like that 1 hour in the day where I can't look at my phone because I'm in a PT session. So that's really helped.
Yeah, amazing. And if you had, so you've got these amazing tips for helping to not only understand why we're using it, we're also understanding like, okay, well, how do we not use it, as in like what we're going to do that's going to be detrimental to us, but also any tips for like how we just get on there. So I think some people are like, that's all great and I love everything you're just sharing, but I can't even get in front of the camera. So like anybody, like any tips from you as the expert of how they get on front of the camera?
Well, firstly, if you don't like the camera, don't start there. Like that's going to really put you off. Like definitely don't start where you're most uncomfortable. Like I'm coaching a client at the moment who is not on there, right? Is just not on social media, but I know how successful they are offline. They are very well known in the industry. They're very good at what they do. I've known them for 10 years, but they're just not visible online. So we had to start by just writing some normal posts first, some like casual posts. And even so, in the last couple of weeks, they've been posting, but not using any real photos. They've been using like inanimate objects or like AI images. And I thought, okay, they're just going to start there. It's okay. We know that pictures paint 1,000 words. So yes, eventually I want to coach them into using actual real pictures, but that's where they're at, guys. And they're a nationally recognized brand. I don't want to say who, but the point is, it's not because you're new that you're uncomfortable with it. Even 20-year-old businesses are uncomfortable with it because it's something they've never done. But start where you're at. Now, if you do want to get into video, remember, you're not live on the BBC. Like, it's not actually live.
Please
and
do
then
not swear.
Yeah, please do not say.
I mean, well, I do. But.
Yeah, but you're not live, right?
Yeah.
And you're not being paparazzi'd. You know, you're in control of the camera. So you press on, you press off, you can press delete. So what I do and still do, even 10 years later, I record so many shots, right? So many takes. And then I'm like, no, you know, in the video, I'm like, no, one more. No, okay, one more time. You know, and then you can watch them back and you will hate the first 10. You know, you might be like, oh my God, I look ridiculous. Why do I sit like this? Why do I sit? But eventually that looking in the mirror, you know, because you're looking at yourself in the mirror when you're looking at those videos, you will start to, you know, give yourself feedback like, okay, I need to stand up straighter, or I notice I speak with my eyes closed. You know, some people do that. Or I notice that I put my chin down, chin up. So you will give yourself some critique to make yourself better. And then you'll get to a point, maybe like you and I, where you just don't give a shit anymore. And then you just don't watch it back. Like I said, I was like, I'm not watching this. Just so you all know.
It needs to go out there, okay? Because I need to build my brand.
Yeah,
so it's
exactly.
Going to have to go out there,
it's going out there. I will put it on in the background to give you a view.
Yeah.
I'll play it in the background on mute, but I'm not listening to myself and I'm not going to watch it because it's done now.
Yeah.
It's out there. And no one's going to care. Like I do so many posts that's like, no one cares. No one's looking at you the way you're looking at you. You criticize yourself much harsher than somebody else. And let's face it, if you do get criticized by someone, it's usually someone who's not doing anywhere near as much as you.
Yes. That's me clicking. Like, someone who's not watching, I'm clicking because it's a big fat yes. We've always said that. No one who's kind of ahead of you in whatever you want to call that is laughing at your video. They're going, well done. I celebrate you for stepping on.
Exactly.
Like, it's only people who are sat on their sofa.
That's why I said when you said like, oh, you know, welcome to the show, I'm like, I'm really proud that you're doing, because I know how hard it is to get guests on the show, to get your like set sorted, get the scripts right, then edit it, post it, publish. I know what you're going through right now and I want to see you win. I wouldn't criticize you because I know what it takes, right? It's like, when you see people running or going to the gym, like, oh, why are you doing that? That looks well hard. I'm like,
yeah. But you probably have someone who's never been on a podcast in their life, being like, that podcast is a load of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a load of shit, but you know.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
And that's the thing, isn't it? So
why are they doing that? Who do they think they are? And be like, I have just got no time. It's just sad that you are living in that world in your head, but you know, you do you.
Yeah, exactly. So for anybody who's apprehensive about posting, everybody who's doing it is going to be celebrating you. So just bear that in mind as well.
Everyone who cares about you is going to be celebrating you, but don't do it for the haters, do it for the lovers. Like I will get a message in my inbox that will be like, oh, Ros, I really needed to hear that today. That's who I'm doing it for. I'm not doing it for the people that didn't comment, didn't like, and actually didn't support that. You know, you're going to be there anyway. I'm doing it for those who had an impact from one post. That's it.
Yeah, this is so helpful. And I know that when you're online, you're fantastic at supporting other people, dropping into their inbox, sharing things that they can learn from. So Ros will try lots of different content types as well and show you like what type of content, you know, just to prove that this one does work. Or this one doesn't,
like the controversial ones I tried.
And Ros does a lot of that online. So for anyone who wants to continue this conversation with you and learn more from you, because Ros also, obviously in case you didn't gather from the whole conversation, does coaching to help you to create content too. So if you're like, oh, do you know what? I actually just can't do this on my own, then this is the person you need to be speaking to. So where can people find you, Ros?
Yeah, so my main channels are LinkedIn and Instagram. I'm now a YouTuber as well. So I've got the Money Honey podcast, which is for women in property, finance and construction. But I've just started a channel called On Brand and it's on YouTube. And I'm just literally, I should take the videos down because I have actually revealed a lot of secrets of like what I do with clients behind the scenes, how I help them build on LinkedIn, how I help them build their brand. So there's a lot of free content on YouTube and I'm still building that library. So any suggestions are welcome. I'm DJing. Send your requests in. I'll make a video on it.
And Instagram handle is
just my name, Rosalia Lazzara, and on LinkedIn it's Rosalia Lazzara as well.
Make sure you do give Ros a follow. There's so much content there for you. The On Brand on YouTube sounds incredible and no doubt there'll be so much value there. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been so good.
And make sure you stay tuned for the next episode of ILA On Air.